everybody, it's Dina with Dina Inspired, and I'm so glad you joined me. We are going to make another tote and using our Notes and Totes collection. So I'm using Timeless Plaid paper here. It has a really nice plaid on both sides, and we are going to be able to see the inside. So I wanted something that was kind of neutral, not a flower that's going to be all flipped around and all that. So we're going to use this, and I'm going to show you how to create it so we can attach it to this one that I've already done. So I did learn a really neat trick here, and we're just going to add some glue, and we're going to let it sit here for a minute. Maybe get my tip here cleaned out real good. And we are just going to let this sit here and soak into the paper so that when I start applying this, it does not get all over my fingers. So if you have a hard time with glue too, this is a really good trick here. Just let it sit here, let it soak in, okay? You don't need a whole lot on there, but let it soak in. So while that is doing its thing, we're gonna do ours. So on the card, there are score lines on the tote. There's a score line here, and there's a score line here in the middle. So we are going to fold the score line here in the middle in, just so we know where we want to put these. So we're going to fold that innermost score line in, and then we will put these right here on this edge because we want this to fold. We don't want to cover up that score line because we still want it to fold. Okay, so we're going to do that. And that is where we're going to add these pieces. So some of this glue has already soaked in. You can tell it still has a little bit of stickiness to it, but it's not coming off on my fingers. Okay, and we're just going to put that right along that score line. We're going to do the same thing on this side. And we're just going to add that right along that score line. Okay, what that does is that still lets us fold this, and this isn't getting in our way of the fold. Okay, now then we want to open it back up and fold in the bottom. Okay, the reason being is that this piece fits right along this bottom edge. You can even fold in this first score line, and then it's just going to fit right along the bottom. Okay. All the way across the bottom, but you can still bend these score lines in. Okay, it's going to let you bend it just a little. You might have to kind of play with it, but it will allow you to bend it just a little. I haven't bent this one in yet, but there we go. Okay, now then, you see that here on the bottom we have some score lines, and there are score lines right here, and then there's score lines on these little bitty tabs. Okay, So we are going to fold those little tabs in at the score lines. And then this bends up, and those little tabs are going to hook to your tote bag right there at the corner so that you get a flat bottom. Okay? And they kind of bend up just a hair because this has an edge that goes up, so you want to get that flat. Okay? So we are going to put just a little bit of glue right here. Just a little. And again on this one, just a little bit of glue right here. We'll kind of let that sit. So what does everyone like to do for vacation? Do you have something where you go on vacation? Do you go to the beach? I am in a landlocked state, so the beach is not somewhere I go. We do have lots of lakes here in Oklahoma, but really I'm not a lake person. I would much rather go to the ocean and go to a beach. But it is quite a drive for us. We like to go on cruises. They're always a great getaway for us. So I'm just going to make the newspaper or the magazine, whatever this is, that goes inside. And it says, "So Grateful, a True Story." And I am using Secret C. Okay, I think this is dried enough now that we can fold this in and not get it all over my fingers. So we're folding it and letting it take hold there. Okay, now we'll do this one. Folding the little tab in. So you see how it just kind of wraps and it creates a corner there. Okay, now then we're going to put these two together like so. And then our tabs, our score lines on here are going to be glued together. And then our insides are going to be glued together. Okay, so I need to fold this one in. I'm going to work on the bottom part before I start working on this part because it's just a little bit smaller area. Okay, I'm going to put some glue right here and I'm going to let it set again and just I'm going to let it set and soak into the paper some so I don't get it all over my fingers. All right, I'm going to set those aside. Now I also cut out, this is a scarf and it's the same as the inside of the paper that I'm working with. So I'm just going to, since this is more of a 3D, I'm going to give this some dimension and just kind of curve it, bend it, so that when I put it on, it's going to kind of just look more like a scarf, okay? So it's going to stand up a little, look more like a scarf. Other pieces that I have that I'm going to put in the bag itself, I have a lotion bottle or I guess this is more of a sunscreen bottle. And I've cut out the cap in just white. So I'm gonna cut this off at the score line, put a little touch of glue on here and let this sit and marinate just a little bit. Okay, move it up here. And then I also have a water bottle. Now my water bottle, I cut out of the Cheers and Sips, one of the Cheers and Sips papers, just to kind of give it, it's got a variation of the strawberry slush in it. And just something a little bit different. So what we could actually do is glue this white piece down just like that, and then it almost looks like the bottle is not quite full. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it like that. Put some glue on here and let it marinate. Woo. Let that dry a little bit. Okay, we're gonna go back to this. I think it has set long enough. And we're gonna put our bottoms together. And then we are going to get those edges together. And then once I get that together, I will glue the bottom onto the bottom. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but we have these together right here. So then when this all goes together, it will sit because they're gonna fold in, and it will sit and not have space there. Okay. Might even pull this one over this one, I think is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna glue the bottom down right here. We're gonna let that set, and then I'll come back after that glue has dried some. I've already got glue on my fingers. Okay. So my bottles and all that have set here for a minute, and we will add the tops. So then it looks like our sun lotion or sunscreen has a different color top on it than the tube itself. And then we've got our water jug, and we are also going to add our little top here. Our little hanging piece. And then we'll add our top of our water bottle. Perfect. Okay, we've got those. Okay, I also have, I'm going to use these handles this time. So I was saying we are a landlocked state and we have lots of lakes here. My grandson interrupted me a while ago to come and tell me that they were headed out to go fishing. So that's something big around here. Lots of people go fishing. They also go camping or boating. It's together now. And we will start getting this to looking like a real little tote. Quiet, y'all. I start thinking about what I'm doing and I just totally forget to talk to y'all. I know you're here watching, but you'd probably say, Dina, what's going on? So I am just pulling these edges together and gluing that down. All right. And now we will do this side. And I kind of want, you know, if one side's my back, which this is now my back, and that's because I have this seam that has come over this way. So I want it to be my back. So I want this to be the same. I want that seam to be the same place. There we go. Now it can sit. Okay. And now we will start adding our handles, our water bottle, our So Grateful newspaper or magazine, whatever that is. So my handles are going to go on the outside. And again, a little bit of glue. And there's one handle. Isn't that cute? Second handle. So stinking cute. Okay. Now then, okay, this is my front. I'm going to put my scarf on my handle. So then it just stands up. See how I curled those and now they stand up as well. Then I am going to put this kind of, I'm going to glue it onto the back part here. You know what? I don't think I am. I think I'm going to put these all on here and then this on the front as well, like this. And then I can add things into here, even put a gift card in here. So just a little glue on this. a little glue on the water bottle. And now the newspaper or magazine is going to cover some of that up so we don't see all of that. So something just like that. So that is what that is going to look like. So now we can drop candy in it. We have a standing, so you can see right down into it. It does stand. Put some candy in there. It will stand. We can also put a gift card in there, and I do not have one handy right now, but I will get one. So we can stick a gift card down in there, and it is a standing tote. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope you make one and share it with us soon. Thanks for watching.